home chilling. I'm laid off of work right now with this whole coronavirus thing. So this is, to me, going to be the coronavirus boat build. I guess welcome to the shit show. Not too long ago, I got this thing for $1,500, which I think is a great deal here in Michigan. So I just wanted to show you really quick kind of what a $1,500 will get you in a fishing boat. So I didn't want to get anything crazy. I just wanted to get something that'll get me on the water, that can potentially get me on some rivers. I do like fishing for salmon and trout and steelhead, all that. And I even wouldn't mind taking something on like the Detroit River to go for walleye and things like that, whitefish, white perch. So I really wanted something that was pretty versatile, and I know aluminum is kind of the way to go when it comes to that. So I stuck with aluminum, and I wanted something that was very, very clean and had virtually no dents or any work on the hull. Starting with the trailer, pretty sturdy in my opinion. It does need a little bit of paint, but wiring is solid. It does the job. A couple things need to be replaced, but nonetheless, it is working well. So kind of the front hull here, nothing major as far as damage or issues go. Virtually no dents. I haven't seen a single one in this boat because I'm pretty sure the first owner, who was an older gentleman, just kept it on the trailer. I think he stored it in the water 1 year. So this is a trailer boat, and it's going to remain one while I have it, which will hopefully be a long time. Let's take a look at this side real quick. Again, I think those are scuffs from my shoes. I'm just getting them out of this thing. But yeah, again, very clean. Trailer looks good, needs a little bit of paint. Wheels and bearings are solid. Drove this thing an hour home and didn't give me any issues. These are great for when I am launching it and pulling it out of the water. I can see this when I'm in my Explorer. Super nice. Absolutely love the original Starcraft decal on the side here. I may try and spruce it up if I can. If not, my fiance did just get a Cricut machine, so I might be able to make my own and slap it on there and even change the color of it. But I do like the original, and it's in such good condition. It's just a little bit faded. Coming to the back here, some pretty sweet rod holders that he gave or sold the boat, or sold with the boat. This one here, and then one on the other side there. And just a couple janky ones kind of thrown in here that I'm probably gonna pull out and replace with actual rod holders, but I do like the idea, so I'm definitely gonna put a couple more here on the transom. Motor is a 9.9 Nissan, little two-stroke, starts right up. It's a good little engine. I've only taken it out on the water once, and it kept bogging down. I think it was fuel starvation from leaky fuel lines. So I replaced all the fuel lines, replaced the spark plugs in the back, and even bought a new fuel pump for the front right here on the carburetor because I accidentally broke it pulling off the fuel line. So all that is replaced, and then the previous owner told me that he did replace all the lines to the gas tanks, so I'm taking his word for it. They seem okay. Everything's holding the prime so far. So that's kind of, it still needs a little bit of a tune-up, but I think it's a nice little motor. I think it gets up on plane quick, considering it's a 16-foot deep V for a little 9.9. I was shocked. But let's see. So kind of my ideas with this boat is I'm definitely going to build it out a little bit. I've already started, so I kind of want to show you what I've done. Decided to go with just the cheap pine plywood and 2x2 little studs. Decided to go with wood because it's cheaper, and I didn't want to have to like deal with the learning curve of aluminum angle and dealing with crappy rivets that I might put inside the boat that'll leak. So I just wanted to limit any issues with the hull as much as I could. So I went with the pine. It's pretty thin, pretty light. It's very sturdy. I will be treating all my wood with like a wood sealer that I got off of, I guess, Home Depot. Technically, they wouldn't sell it to me because it's technically part of the paint section. So I have to wait a couple weeks after the executive order is lifted to actually get that. But I will be sealing. That's the subfloor. I'll be sealing everything with that, so everything will be waterproof, and then I have silicone to make it all watertight in areas. So let's just show you kind of what I've done. So this is the old subfloor. The first owner built this, the older man who owned this before the guy I bought it from. He built this just cheap, threw it in there. It seemed like it probably worked. It's all rotted now. So I was like, all right, that's got to go. But I didn't want to throw it away quite yet. So what I did is I took that and I used it as a template to cut this one out because it fits so perfectly inside the front of the boat, and I'll show you in a second, that I didn't want to get rid of it. So I made a new subfloor out of it. So, coming to what I've started to do is this is going to be my subfloor here in the bow of the boat. Let's see if I can get a good angle of it. I haven't drilled a single thing in the hull. It's extremely sturdy. This thing does not move at all, rocking the whole boat. I've been pulling away on these little guys. These are just 6-inch little blocks. What I've done is I've used construction adhesive to attach these into, if you can see the grooves over there, they're on this side and that side. What I've done is I've stuck as much as I could of the block inside those grooves that are loaded up with construction adhesive to really hold those guys on there, because I really wanted to make a solid foundation in order to build my actual casting deck off of. And I didn't want this thing to wiggle or move at all, especially when we're moving. And the reason why I went with the construction adhesive instead of like a type of glue is, one, I have experience with it and I know it works really well on boats. But two is it's kind of like it's not super rock hard. It's not like an epoxy or a glue. It's more of like it's like a tacky type of, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. But it definitely will be able to give a minimal amount of flex if it needs to. It's not going to just, bounce and crack like a glue could potentially do. So it's like a rubberized kind of adhesive. It's so strange, but it's extremely strong. Like I was taking a hammer to it earlier and I could not get this to move. Eventually what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to take the sealer. I'm going to seal all this with the sealer so that it's all waterproof, because this is going to eventually be holding, wet ropes and an anchor and things like that. So then I'll take the subfloor, and this is kind of just a quick, I might even recut this out because I did it quick and I kind of did it crappy, but it's a subfloor, so it really doesn't matter just whether or not my self will let it go. But I'm going to put this guy in here, kind of show you what below deck will look like. And I don't really want to tack too much in here until I seal it, because I don't want to have to undo work. So I'm kind of just taking my time with it. Yeah, so that's kind of just throw it in there. All right. So again, not pretty for the subfloor, but it's going to do its job. I can even stand on that thing. It's solid, so I know it's going to hold the weight of, whatever we put up there. Me, which is not super light, but this is going to hold, again, all the anchors and the ropes and things like that. So the deck is going to go. So what I envision to do is I'm going to use more construction adhesive, glue down a piece of plywood that's going to extend from this seat here all the way across, all the way up front. So we're going to have about, that's probably like an 8-inch gap in between here, which is going to be able to allow me to put a hatch in here so I can throw the anchor in and whatnot. And just a couple of things I can put in there. So ideally, the deck's going to kind of come off of here. So that's about the gap that I'll get. And I'm going to build in, I'm going to frame in the entire, and I'm going to frame all this in with more of the 2x2s. Just kind of build this thing in nicely. I'm going to make sure to gap it and whatnot, and I'll probably bring you guys along for most of the build here, but just to kind of show you, I'm going to tack this all down with all my deck screws once I get it all treated. Leave the gap in there for drainage, and then I'm going to build on the other deck, carpet it, make it look real nice. Got to throw a navy light up front. And then I'm definitely going to put in some subflooring all throughout the boat. See, these are all the old seats. These are going to go in the trash. They're disgusting. But I just took them because kid was super nice and I didn't want to leave him with some trash. So I just took them out. But that's ideally kind of what the frame is going to start to look like. All up and down it, and then I'm just going to kind of box it all in. But yeah, so for the subflooring, I'm just going to flatten all this out so that's not on a concave V. So I'm going to basically do the same thing what I did with these studs here. I'm going to run them all along this lip and that lip, and then I'm just going to run plywood across, and probably I might make it a little more, I don't know, I might make it a little more removable, who knows. I might even try and really box in areas like these where I can put in some foam just to kind of add some more flotation to this thing so that we don't start sinking. Because ideally, this will be a 3-man fisher at max. I'm not going to put 4 people on it, I don't think. I'm going to try not to. But just quick ideas of kind of what I'm doing with this thing. I'm going to box it all in. I think I'm going to encase in here. Boom, boom. Kind of make some sort of storage here. Do the same thing on the other side. Put a seat in the middle of this bench that's going to be covered with plywood and carpet. Seat in the middle of this bench with the footwell here. This will be the deck, and then I'll probably put like a butt seat or something here, kind of just up, nothing super tall. And then coming down to this section, another subfloor. I got the driver's seat here, which I'm going to keep on this spot. Not the seat, but I'm going to keep the location here. I'm going to leave the foot section open, and then I believe I want to build either a full deck here with obviously storage, or maybe, I don't know what I'm going to do over there. Or that's probably what I'll do, because I really want to make this kind of like a versatile boat. I like doing all types of fishing. I'm not like a snob where it's like, oh, I frown on bass fishermen or whatever. I only catch what I eat, blah, blah, blah. I like doing all fishing. I'm from Michigan, so that's what we do here. We fish lakes that have all sorts of species in it, and you can target fish, but you're going to catch anything that wants to eat that lure. So I'm going to make it easy on myself, regardless of what we're fishing for. So the deep feed is really going to help because it's got some really high walls. If you sit on this bench, I mean, you can even see it's like a 10-inch, maybe even, it's probably like a 10-inch wall. So you're really kind of stuck in here, which makes it's a huge difference. If you've ever been on like a John boat where you have like that much gap between you and the water, it's a little sketchier, especially if you're on water with waves. So this thing's going to definitely handle that perfectly. And it came with oars, which is awesome. It's going to be great for the rivers. But yeah, so it's going to be a 3-seater. So I got the 1 seat back there. One's going to be here on this middle bench. And then we got the deck that's going to be built off of this. And then I really want to wire this thing in with some sweet LEDs. Kind of some nice deck lighting underneath. Yeah, and put a switch panel in and kind of really make this thing look sweet. Just because I'm at home chilling. I'm laid off of work right now with this whole coronavirus thing. So this is, to me, going to be the coronavirus boat build. So we'll see how it goes. Kind of sucks that I have to order pretty much everything online. I have to wait for it to come in the mail. And it makes it tough to like be able to visually see it. A lot of the lumber was not what I would have picked out as far as quality goes. But nonetheless, it's, I guess, welcome to the shit show. Another good angle here.